Ignition sequence starts. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Hey everybody, this is the Digital Asset Investor, and we've got a lot of green on the screen today on CoinPaprika.com, who is one of my sponsors right here. Quant is leading the way right now. Bitcoin and Ethereum are starting to move a little bit. XRP is down towards the bottom of the list because it pretty much ran the show last week, so there's naturally probably going to be some pullback action. But everything pretty much is in the green, so that's a good start to the week. Jason Cousins, who's the CEO of Glint, looking more and more like the perfect storm. Higher interest rates designed to curb inflation, flowing in one direction, whilst additional money printing and tax cuts to avoid a recession drive momentum in complete opposite direction. Gold is the only solid thing to hold on to. And they're talking about homeowners and interest rates going up. That's why almost I'd say every week and a half, I'm either buying physical gold or I'm buying gold in my Glint account so that I can have that as spendable gold with my debit MasterCard with my Glint account. So I'll put a link to this in the very top of the description of this video. You can click on it and tell them DAI sent you. Egreg Crypto, XRP expecting a 790% pump in correlation with November 2014 pump. The current fractal is rhyming, fractal I think is what he meant, is rhyming with it, and it's ranging in preparation for the second pump. The second pump, if it keeps on rhyming, then 790% is plausible and possible. Down here, somebody asks him, right here, were we a 700% pump take us to price range? He says 250 to 270. That's getting close to that all-time high. Then we've got this. Let me hit the refresh button on this. I had just retweeted this. Rulings I'm really hoping to see this week from Yasin Mubarak. Library versus SEC ruling. I believe that we're going to see that any second now. Then Ripple versus SEC, the Hinman emails ruling. I think we'll probably see this ruling this week or next week. This one I believe will happen for sure any second now. But this one, they may rule, but we're never going to see those emails, folks. I stand by my prediction on that. Now, something I've shown you before, that back before the whole anti-Ripple and anti-XRP campaign began, CNBC was not just talking about it and didn't just understand XRP and the potential, but we're trying to show you how to buy it. This is the second video. I'm not going to show you the whole video, but I'm going to just show you. This is the second video of two that I know of that they did, where they were teaching people how to buy it. At the time, they were calling it Ripple, but it's XRP.
You might have heard of Bitcoin, Litecoin, and Ethereum, but have you heard of Ripple or XRP?
Yes, I've heard of it.
It's a hot new cryptocurrency, and it's blowing up. We'll walk you through how to buy it now. So the first thing you need to do is buy either Ethereum or Bitcoin. I know it sounds complicated, but you actually have to have that instead of cash, folks, if you're in the United States.
Anyway, I'm not going to play that video. I just wanted to show you this. And I said, fun fact, before CNBC stopped covering XRP, before they hired Jay Clayton instead of asking him tough questions about Ethgate, before they spent years pumping Bitcoin and Ethereum, they taught you how to buy XRP. What happened? Now, what got me on, I went kind of on I guess you could say a rant on Twitter this morning with a few things, and this is the one that reminded me. This guy right here tweeted this Anthony Pompliano tweet. This is kind of what set me down this path this morning, because it's always good to remind it and tie all this together in everybody's mind for those of you who either weren't there or have forgotten. But remember, Anthony Pompliano has been Bitcoin, Ethereum, Bitcoin for years now. Okay? He's had Brad Garlinghouse on his show, and every time he acts like he just doesn't understand. He doesn't get XRP. He just doesn't get it. Okay? but he does get it. See, these people have been being disingenuous for years now. And I'm going to show you when I think that the whole plan was set in motion with a lot of them. I'm not saying him necessarily. I'm just saying it was a coordinated effort with a lot of people, folks. See, this is and I believe that the Ethgate and the plan to try to slow Ripple and XRP down, I believe it began somewhere between October 2017 and the all-time high in early January 2018. I believe that when Ripple announced the escrow lockup is really when they said, okay, we got to do something here. Okay, now, so Anthony Pompliano on August 31st of 2017, this is what he completely gets XRP. But in the following 4 years, he just doesn't get it. Okay, that's how you know. He says, if you think Bitcoin went on a tear once CNBC and institutional investors learned about it, just wait until they discover Ripple XRP. Okay? He knows. He's always known. So the question is, why has he acted like, since that time, why has he acted like he doesn't know? Why is his partner, I don't know if it's his partner now, but Mark Yusko's no dummy either. He's scratching his head. Oh, I'll have to look further into that. You know, same thing. Okay? Then there was this. I'll never forget it. This article right here was in Forbes when XRP started to surge in January of 2018, right after they announced their escrow lockup. The escrow, let me see if I had it on here. I'll get to it in a second. Meet the crypto billionaires getting rich from Ripple's XRP. So this article, in my opinion, was a complete hit piece. They wanted to highlight how rich Chris Larson and these guys were getting off of XRP. Who wrote the article? Laura Shin. The same Laura Shin who pumps Bitcoin and Ethereum like it's her job, almost like it is her job, right? Okay? And the woman who wrote an entire book on Ethereum but did not point to Ethgate at all, okay? I said, look who wrote it. This is when the machine went into this time period. Right around here is when the machine went in motion. And it is a machine, folks. It is a machine. It was a coordinated effort. I'm not saying that any individual was involved in the effort. I am saying I have my suspicions, okay? Now, so that brought me to this. I wanted to post the Ethgate timeline again. And I want to make sure everybody knows this is going to haunt all the people on this timeline till we get our level playing field, okay? But if you look at the timeline, it shows Katie Hawn going after Ripple. Then it shows Consensus announcing the Brooklyn project. Now look at these dates, because this is when it all started, folks. Somewhere around here in 2017. Look, so R3 sues Ripple in September 8th, 2017. Remember what Gary Gensler said, remember what Tim Draper says? They sue you, they sue you, then they get their friends in the government to go after you. Think about that while you're reading this timeline. I'm not saying that all these people on this timeline were involved in some conspiracy. I'm just saying there's a lot of coincidences here. R3 sues Ripple September 8th, 2017. Consensus announces Brooklyn project November 30th, 2017. December 13th, 2017, SEC meets with Consensus. Okay. Also met with them in December. May have been the same meeting from SEC Ripple court case. December 15th is when Ripple announces their the 55 billion XRP escrow. This is when the XRP price starts to really surge. Jay Clayton then on January 24th speaks at Stanford. The next day he goes and meets with Andreessen Horowitz. That's when the group is put together, led by Chris Dixon over there, with all the law firms. That's when the group is put together that then goes on to become the Ethereum Free Pass, the Safe Harbor memo. In the middle of that, Gary Gensler is meeting with Jay Clayton, okay? And Gary Gensler also pops up out of nowhere in 2018. Let me show you that. And I think this was a part of the whole thing, folks. Gary Gensler, he comes out of nowhere. He's in the New York Times. He says he thinks XRP and Ethereum are securities. I think Gary Gensler was involved in all this from day freaking one, folks. Now, So I show you all that, and then I make the point. December 15th, 2017, Ripple announces the escrow lockup, which began the run to January 2018 all-time high. This is when I think the people behind Ethgate, whoever those powerful people are, began this coordinated effort to slow Ripple and XRP down. I believe this is when they said, oh, we got to stop this. This is what the catalyst for what we now know as Ethgate. It involved media, pundits, traders, short traders, industry groups, Wall Street, attorneys, VCs, and many more. We know the names. Yeah, we do, but we're not naming names tied to it. We're just showing you some of the things that were done. That's all. Then I wanted to show you this too, folks, because look, it's important that you understand, and I don't care what people think about numbers sounding crazy. They're not crazy. $1,046 XRP is not crazy. The Wall Street Journal is not a stupid group of people. In October of 2017, they've got this price prediction by 2020, okay? And they've got XRP, they called it Ripple at the time, they've got it listed as $1,046. And I make the point here that, yeah, okay, well, that may take time to get there, but they knew what the potential was back then. As the case comes to an end and some of the people involved, we're starting to see some of them capitulate now. Don't be surprised if you start seeing these kind of predictions again from some of these major publications, because once they know that holding it back is no longer going to happen, they're all going to jump on, and then they'll start telling the truth again, folks. Because make no mistake, it's been a coordinated lie for years. Coordinated lie. All right. And then crypto bull, I agree with him here. I believe that 10, 13, 27, 59, $100 are all realistic price targets for XRP, but especially the higher targets will take years until reached. Probably so. This David Ripley guy has just taken over as CEO of Kraken, and there was a Cointelegraph article, the new CEO of Kraken is not a fan of the SEC, and crypto exchange won't be registered with it anytime soon. And John Deaton's saying, congrats. Respectfully, I have a suggestion that could prove to be a turning point. Relist XRP before a decision. Today's XRP is not a security. 73,000 may follow. And I said, yes, David Ripley, relist XRP on Kraken. Change the game. All right, then this guy Do Kwon is on the run, according to reports. South Korean authorities have reportedly requested crypto exchanges OKX and KuCoin to freeze around $67 million in Bitcoin tied to Terra co-founder Do Kwon. He says he's not on the run, but the world says he is. Then there's this. I was wondering when they were going to go after Nexo. New York and other state regulators have announced enforcement actions against Nexo. California has issued a cease and desist against the crypto lender Nexo. You know, it's weird. I don't see any of these people announcing enforcement actions against companies like Aave that used to be ETHLend, that are Ethereum based. I don't see any enforcement actions against those lenders. Bankrupt crypto lender Voyager to sell assets to Sam Bankman-Fried's FTX for $1.4 billion. This FTX, for me, is still a mystery, folks. I had never heard of them until about a year ago, when out of nowhere, Tom Brady starts being their pitch man. Before that, I had never even heard of them. And I've been in this since 2013. There was some random thing out of the Bahamas. It makes me wonder if somebody huge began to back these guys and they said, okay, these are the guys, this is the one we're going to prop up. This is the one we're going to try to use to control this whole situation in digital assets. Then we've got this from Christine Lagarde. Listen to this.
Where do we stand? We central bankers, we have been operating as a monetary anchor in relation to the commercial banks and the private money. If we are not in that game, if we are not involved in experimenting, in innovating in terms of digital central bank money, we risk losing the role of anchor that we have played for many, many decades.
What she means is we risk losing the role of controlling all of you. these central bank digital currencies, folks, can be used for good or for evil. And so we're going to have to keep an eye on that. And I'm not down for the evil route. This can, and these people, they'll certainly hear from the population if they try to go in that direction. I don't ever hear Christine Lagarde talking about freedom, things like that, freedom for the people, or she always frames things more in a control type narrative when I listen to her. I'm not for that. So if you're going to use CBDCs to try to control us and tell us what we can and can't spend our money on and all that, you will hear me speak out against it loudly. I'm the digital asset investor. I'm not an investment advisor. This is for entertainment purposes only. Please subscribe, hit the like button, and tell your friends and family that it's not that we need central bankers. It's just that that's the look, folks. I've said it from the beginning of this channel. You're not the down with the governments thing is not gonna happen. I mean, when I was 18, maybe I would have thought that. That's not gonna happen. But that doesn't mean that I'm gonna stand here and think and go along with these people if their plan in any way is to try to tell you what you can and can't spend your money on or anything like that. I will not be going with that. Thanks for listening.